everybody?
Okay, I'll
And
do
then
it.
when you want to be looking for when he comes back, and then you can just start recording when he comes back too.
Wait. He did people already?
Doing it now. Nice look.
Okay.
Quote, 156 pounds. That's how much added sugar Americans consume each year on a per capita basis, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, unquote. When I learned this statistic in college class last year, I was shocked. I mean, I love sugar, but I've also learned about the intense negative effects of unhealthy living and how much we as Americans have gone downhill in that. Now, the American diet has been going downhill for a while, but all you have to do to feel and live better than ever is make a few habit adjustments. Now, first we're going to take a look at some problems related to the American diet, and then we'll take a step back to see how we can fix it. The American diet is backwards. The popular birthday saying of "eat dessert first" has been taken quite literally by many. Our society praises healthy eaters and then turns around and tells us to indulge in whatever makes us feel good. There are several indicators of our unhealthy diet. Several studies and some articles by Time and Forbes have indicated that Americans have increased their snacking in the past 30 years, and that 91% of Americans have a snack at least once a day. Now, snacks aren't bad in and of themselves, but as we all know, American snacks mostly consist of highly processed, high sugar content food and drink. Now, in regards to dessert, by USA Today, 78% of consumers say that they eat dessert to reward themselves. Nowadays, the most basic example of oversnacking is due to emotional eating. Mayo Clinic said this about emotional eating: eating as a way to suppress or soothe negative emotions such as stress, anger, fear, boredom, sadness, and loneliness. Social media is a prime example of emotional eating and promotes it by saying if you're stressed or tired, eat some chocolate cake and you'll feel better. Now, emotional or celebratory eating is the most popular reason why we snack and is often the root of poor eating habits. The repercussions of poor eating habits can be extensive and can lead to eating disorders, obesity, even cancer. From eating disorder statistics and research, the United States alone has 10 million females and 1 million males who struggle with an eating disorder. According to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, 1 out of every 3 adults is considered obese. In fact, our 4th meal of the day through snacking has rendered us number 9 in a study of most overweight or obese people in the world by the World Health Organization. Studies have shown that obesity can end in death, and the U.S. National Library of Medicine says that obesity comes second after smoking in the cases of most avoidable causes of death. According to NBC News, the United States is by far unhealthier than 16 other prominent countries and is more likely to contract illness or die from accidents. Now, a lot of negative health habits have particularly been developed in children, college students, and millennials because they've been raised in the ideas of emotional eating. Now, the consequences of poor diet that lead to eating disorders and obesity has also been shown to be one of the causes of cancer. In a study on the risk of cancer in relation to diet, it said that diet-related factors are thought to account for about 30% of cancers in developed countries. And for Dale Schramm, a chiropractic doctor, the switch to eating well was able to help cure his prostate cancer. Thus, eating disorders, obesity, and cancer, though all seem like extreme examples, are highly common results of the American diet. So, what are some practical ways we can avoid problems related to this diet? On the outset, the solution is simple. Eat the right food only when you're hungry. However, there's often more behind a simple solution, and it all comes down to what the food is feeding. Is food feeding your stomach or your psychological cravings? When you eat the right food, your mind and body will function well, and when you come off some bad eating habits, the difference is even more noticeable. Eating the right food at the right time will satisfy the real source of your cravings and will result in many physical and psychological benefits as well. So everyone needs a plan of action, so first things first. You need to slowly replace the temptation. If you slowly and surely get rid of the old food and replace it with fun new vegetables and meats, it'll be much easier to stick to that lifestyle than switching completely and then going back after a few weeks. Now, step 2 involves promoting a consistently healthy mindset. For example, the next time you think you're hungry, try drinking some water. Most of the time, dehydration conceals itself in hunger out of boredom. Or, another way to do it is think of an apple. If it isn't appealing, you're probably not hungry. Now, step 3 is probably the hardest, but most rewarding. Keep eating well. There's a time and place for celebratory desserts, but it is very possible to be content daily with plain but good food. But now, might you say, isn't buying organic expensive? It can seasonally be expensive, but keep in mind, A, that you'll have a wider budget now that you're not spending it on other food, and B, it's not necessary to eat organic in order to be healthy. Now, when you cut out most junk food, especially sugar, your body will respond by metabolizing your food quicker, giving you more energy. Your immune system will be built up because of the lack of sugar. Your skin, hair, and nails will strengthen and shine because of the good food that you're putting in. And overall, your outlook on life will be much more positive. You can expect all of these things to happen in about a month of changing diets, and it might vary, but keep in mind that this is life change and totally worth it. Despite the constant bombardment of unhealthy incentives that society throws, it is still possible and very rewarding to eat good food when you're hungry. There are far more benefits from a healthy lifestyle than an unhealthy one. Living the American diet may have serious repercussions, while living healthily and vigorously is to live, and to live life to the fullest. Does anyone have any feedback?
Great. It's good to hear all those reminders of eating well and drinking water and all that.
Makes me want to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Very persuasive.